In the sprawling saga of human existence, long before the chisel met stone or the scroll unfurled, there was chaos? Not entirely. We often imagine early humanity as a wild, untamed frontier, devoid of structure, governed solely by instinct. But, astonishingly, even in the deepest shadows of prehistory, an intricate web of rules already governed our ancestors. It's a thought that truly boggles the mind. How did order emerge from what appears, on the surface, to be utter anarchy? Picture this. Small bands of hunter-gatherers huddled around a flickering fire under an impossibly vast, star-strewn sky. Their lives were a brutal dance with survival, dictated by the rhythm of the hunt, scarce resources, and constant threat. Yet, within these perilous existences, complex social contracts, utterly unwritten, began to solidify. Who gets the larger share of the mammoth? Who leads the hunt? These weren't suggestions. They were the invisible scaffolding holding fragile communities together. Imagine the fierce glances, the knowing nods, quiet ostracization, or collective defense that served as their earliest legal system. Without these unspoken laws, without shared understanding of right and wrong, their society would have unraveled. Survival wasn't just about sharp spears. It was profoundly about cooperation, reciprocity, and a primal sense of justice. It's almost absurd, such sophisticated social engineering, without a single word penned. These were the unseen architects of order, ensuring humanity would not just survive, but eventually thrive. But then, something truly monumental, utterly revolutionary, began to stir in the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia. For millennia, humanity had relied on the ethereal, unspoken rules, the whispered traditions and fierce understandings of tribal life. Now, imagine the sheer audacity to take these invisible social contracts and etch them into stone, press them into clay. It sounds almost absurd, doesn't it? This wasn't merely documenting history, it was codifying the very fabric of their present and future. It was an unfathomable leap from transient memory to enduring decree. Suddenly, the ephemeral became tangible. Picture a skilled craftsman, brow furrowed in intense concentration, painstakingly pressing a reed stylus into soft, damp clay. Each wedge-shaped mark, a cuneiform character, was a syllable of a new order, a word in a colossal legal dictionary being built from the ground up. This wasn't just record-keeping. It was an act of societal alchemy, transforming fluid custom into rigid, enduring law. This meticulous, repetitive work, often carried out in sun-drenched courtyards, represented a profound commitment to stability. This shift was nothing short of miraculous, a testament to burgeoning complexity. As villages swelled into cities and cities into empires, the old ways simply couldn't scale. How do you govern tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands with only memory and oral tradition? The answer lay in these unassuming tablets, these first stone tablets. They were the bedrock of civilization, the silent, omnipresent guardians of justice. ensuring that what was right and what was wrong wasn't just remembered, but known across vast populations. An astonishing, almost bizarre commitment to order laid down, literally, in the earth itself, securing justice for untold generations. From these nascent, hand-pressed tablets emerged a figure whose vision for order was breathtakingly ambitious, almost impossibly grand. Hammurabi. Imagine the sheer audacity of this Babylonian king, not merely to rule, but to codify an entire empire's moral, economic, and social fabric into nearly 300 immutable laws. It was an act of administrative genius that verged on the miraculous, an attempt to govern every single interaction, from the precise price of grain to the exact punishment for theft, all meticulously carved onto a towering obsidian-black basalt stele. This wasn't some arcane hidden decree for the privileged elite. This monolithic stone was intentionally erected in public places, a silent, imposing sentinel amidst the vibrant, chaotic bustle of ancient Mesopotamian marketplaces. Stand for a moment amidst the throng, the cacophony of vendors hawking their exotic wares, the shrewd merchants bartering, and ordinary citizens going about their complex lives, and there it is, the omnipresent Code of Hammurabi. It stands not just as a stark legal document, but as a monumental testament to an unbelievable, almost absurd commitment to structured justice. Its undeniable presence fundamentally altered the very rhythm of daily existence. A farmer knew with chilling certainty the precise penalty for flooding a neighbor's field. A builder understood their grave responsibility for structural integrity. Even the most intricate family disputes found their answers etched with divine authority into this very stone. The famous eye for an eye, lex talionis, was but one stark facet of a sophisticated system designed to bring unprecedented, almost unfathomable order to a vast, complex society. It ensured that justice, however harsh, was unequivocally predictable. To witness it, to truly comprehend its widespread enforcement, in a world millennia removed from modern bureaucracy and instant communication, evokes a profound sense of bewildered, incredulous awe. How could such a detailed, comprehensive legal framework be conceived, let alone effectively implemented across a vast, diverse empire with such limited means? It's almost comically impressive, a colossal gamble on clarity and consequence that paid off, shaping countless lives, securing an unprecedented peace, and etching an indelible blueprint for all future legal systems, making the invisible force of law utterly, breathtakingly, visibly real. From Hammurabi's monumental top-down decree ensuring predictable justice through a king's singular will, we plunge into an arena of lawmaking so radically different, so utterly audacious, it feels like an entirely new species of order. Ancient Athens. Imagine the sheer, unthinkable leap from immutable laws carved by distant authority to a system where citizens themselves, ordinary farmers, artisans, merchants, converged on the Phoenix Hill. This wasn't merely advisory. This was direct democracy, a grand, messy, often boisterous experiment in self-governance that beggars belief. thousands of Athenian men, not silently accepting decrees, but passionately debating, their voices echoing across the open-air assembly. Each a legislator, a judge, a potential architect of their shared future. They didn't just receive laws, they forged them through heated rhetoric, clashing ideals, and the very breath of their collective will. To decide war and peace, taxation, public works, and fundamental rights all through popular vote is a spectacle of participatory governance that still astounds. Consider ostracism, where citizens could banish a powerful individual for 10 years simply by scratching a name on a pottery shard. An act of collective vigilance almost comically profound in its simplicity. It was here, amidst the dust and sweat of direct engagement, that nomos, law as human reason and collective agreement, began its ascent.
This was law not imposed, but co-created, an astounding testament to humanity's capacity to govern itself, to build a legal framework from the ground up, one debate, one raised hand, one tiny pottery shard at a time. It's a jaw-dropping departure, a foundational cornerstone echoing, perpetually reminding us of the profound power of a populace united by civic purpose. From the vibrant, often chaotic debates of Athenian democracy, where every citizen was a lawmaker, humanity pivoted to something profoundly different, yet equally monumental: the colossal legal machine of the Roman Republic and Empire. This wasn't law forged in the heat of a single assembly's passion, but meticulously chiseled, debated, and systematized over centuries by legal minds whose brilliance still echoes today. Imagine the Roman Forum, not just a bustling marketplace, but the very crucible of jus civile, civil law. Here, amidst towering basilicas and temples, senators, magistrates, and the burgeoning profession of jurists crafted a legal framework so sophisticated, so adaptable, that it would underpin Western civilization for millennia. This was law as architecture, a grand edifice of reason, precedent, and classification. The 12 tables, inscribed for all to see, were merely the genesis. What followed was an astonishing proliferation of edicts, commentaries, and jurisprudential thought, creating an intricate web that governed everything from property rights and contracts to family law and criminal justice across an empire stretching from Britain to Mesopotamia. What followed was an astonishing proliferation of edicts, commentaries, and jurisprudential thought, creating an intricate web that governed everything from property rights and contracts to family law and criminal justice across an empire stretching from Britain to Mesopotamia. It's bewildering to grasp the sheer intellectual audacity to create a unified legal language and system that could bind such a diverse, sprawling dominion. This wasn't just about control. It was about creating a predictable and forcible order that facilitated commerce, maintained peace, and defined citizenship on an unprecedented scale. The sheer foresight, the meticulous dedication to legal science is frankly astonishing. They built an empire, yes, but they also built law, a legacy far more enduring than any legion or emperor, a testament to the power of structured justice that continues to shape our world. From the vibrant, logical tapestry of Roman jurisprudence, which sought to bind an empire with reason and precedent, humanity embarked on an astonishing, almost bewildered detour. As the classical world waned, a new profound source of authority emerged: divine will. Suddenly, law wasn't merely the pronouncement of emperors or assemblies, but the sacred decree of the heavens, interpreted and enforced by religious institutions. It's truly incredible to witness this shift, where the very fabric of society, from solemn oaths to property disputes, became inextricably woven into the sacred. Imagine, if you will, the flickering candlelight illuminating parchment in a monastic scriptorium. Here, scribes, with meticulous devotion, weren't just preserving ancient texts. They were meticulously transcribing, commenting upon, and codifying God's law. This wasn't merely spiritual guidance. It was the lex mundi, the law of the world. Canon law of the Church, Islamic Sharia, Jewish halakha, each became a colossal, intricate legal system, governing everything from marriage, inheritance, and contracts to criminal justice and international relations across vast swathes of the globe. The sheer audacity and intellectual depth applied to systematizing these divine pronouncements is frankly astonishing. Scholars debated theological nuances that would dictate daily life, forming legal frameworks that shaped identities and destinies for centuries. It's bewildering to consider how an entire civilization could submit its most mundane and momentous affairs to an authority perceived as absolute, originating not from earthly decree, but from the divine. This era wasn't just about faith. It was about order, justice, and the profound, awe-inspiring belief that the ultimate legislator resided beyond the earthly realm, guiding every step with an invisible yet utterly binding code. Canon law of the Church, Islamic Sharia, Jewish halakha, each became a colossal, intricate legal system governing everything from marriage, inheritance, and contracts to criminal justice and international relations across vast swathes of the globe. The sheer audacity and intellectual depth applied to systematizing these divine pronouncements is frankly astonishing. Scholars debated theological nuances that would dictate daily life, forming legal frameworks that shaped identities and destinies for centuries. It's bewildering to consider how an entire civilization could submit its most mundane and momentous affairs to an authority perceived as absolute, originating not from earthly decree, but from the divine. This era wasn't just about faith. It was about order, justice, and the profound, awe-inspiring belief that the ultimate legislator resided beyond the earthly realm, guiding every step with an invisible yet utterly binding code. This era wasn't just about faith. It was about order, justice, and the profound, awe-inspiring belief that the ultimate legislator resided beyond the earthly realm, guiding every step with an invisible yet utterly binding code. After centuries where the ultimate law was believed to descend from the heavens, an extraordinary, almost audacious shift began to ripple through the earthly realm. Imagine, if you will, The sheer bewildering audacity of mere mortals daring to suggest that even a king anointed by God himself was not above the law. This wasn't divine revelation. This was rebellious, worldly reason rising against absolute authority. And so we arrive at the year 1215, a date synonymous with one of history's most astonishing acts of defiance. Picture this: King John, a monarch whose reign was a spectacular catalogue of blunders, heavy taxes, and tyrannical whims, found himself cornered. His exasperated, defiant barons, pushed to their absolute limit, gathered at Runnymede. Can you imagine the scene? A king accustomed to undisputed power, now facing down his own formidable subjects, not with swords drawn, but with a document. It's almost comical in its stark power imbalance, yet utterly profound. Here, in that unassuming meadow by the Thames, something truly revolutionary, truly absurd from a medieval king's perspective, took place. John, under immense duress, was compelled to affix his royal seal to the Magna Carta. This wasn't a request, it was a demand, a written constraint. For the first time, a Western monarch formally acknowledged that his power had limits, that his subjects possessed certain rights, and that even the crown was subject to the law. It's a moment of breathtaking, almost unbelievable significance. A single parchment, wrenched from the grasp of an unwilling king, laying the very groundwork for constitutional law and human rights. A testament to the bewildering power of a pen, when wielded by defiant will, to reshape the world.
From the improbable defiance of Runnymede, where a parchment dared to bind a king, humanity's legal journey took an even more astonishing turn. The whispers of limitation grew into a roaring chorus of reason, birthing an age so profoundly transformative it felt almost unbelievable. Welcome to the Age of Enlightenment, the 17th and 18th centuries, a period where the very foundations of power and governance were not merely questioned, but dismantled and reassembled by audacious minds. Imagine, if you will, the sheer, breathtaking audacity of these philosophers gathered in salons, their minds ablaze under the soft glow of candlelight. They weren't just debating minor reforms. They were dissecting the divine right of kings, proposing that government legitimacy flowed not from God, but from the governed. It's an idea so radical, so utterly subversive to centuries of tradition, it feels almost like science fiction. Think of John Locke, articulating that individuals possessed inherent natural rights, life, liberty, and property, that no monarch could legitimately infringe upon. Or Rousseau, pondering the social contract, where people willingly surrendered some freedoms for the common good, creating a society based on consent, not coercion. And then Montesquieu, daring to suggest that power should be divided, legislative, executive, judicial, to prevent tyranny. These weren't abstract musings confined to dusty tomes. These were dynamite, igniting revolutions, shaping declarations, and crafting constitutions across continents. From the bewildering notion that a king was accountable, we soared to the astonishing conviction that all legitimate power originated with the people, guarded by laws designed to protect their natural, undeniable rights.
a truly wondrous, almost fantastical evolution from a single reluctant signature to a blueprint for a world reimagined by the sheer force of human intellect. From the philosophical blueprints of natural rights and divided powers came an eruption so profound, so utterly unbelievable, that it reshaped the very fabric of nations. We are talking about revolutions, movements where the theoretical became terrifyingly, magnificently real. Imagine the sheer raw force of a populace, no longer content with abstract debates, but demanding justice in the streets. How bewildering, how astonishing to witness centuries of entrenched power structures crumble under the weight of popular will. The age of enlightenment had sown seeds, but the harvest was a whirlwind of radical restructuring, a pursuit of liberty so fierce it dared to challenge the divine right of kings with cannon fire and guillotines. The storming of a Bastille, a symbol of royal absolutism, wasn't just an act of rebellion. It was a visceral, thunderous declaration that the old legal order was dead. New laws, born from the crucible of revolution, emerged. Declarations of rights, constitutions asserting popular sovereignty, trials conducted by the people, for the people. It was a dizzying, often brutal, but undeniably transformative period where the very definition of law shifted from royal decree to popular mandate. The incredible notion that all authority springs from the consent of the governed now had blood and fire behind it, forging new legal systems from the ashes of the old. From philosophical discourse to the terrifying majesty of a nation remaking its laws with its own hands, the journey of justice proved to be an astonishing, violent, and utterly necessary evolution. The incredible notion that all authority springs from the consent of the governed now had blood and fire behind it, forging new legal systems from the ashes of the old. And just when you think you've grasped law's astonishing journey from codes to revolution, the tapestry unfurls into a dizzying, bewildering array across continents. How utterly incredible, how profoundly varied the human approach to order is. While the West championed its revolutionary ideals, the world remains a mosaic of legal philosophies, each with an incredible ancient lineage. We speak of common law, where judges' decisions carve pathways through precedent like ancient rivers shaping the land, an organic, ever-growing body of wisdom, often deliberated by ordinary citizens. Then there's civil law, a colossal intellectual edifice built upon meticulously codified statutes, a grand architectural blueprint for justice, theoretically accounting for every contingency. It relies on expert interpretation of codes to guide justice. Yet even as these giants evolved, myriad indigenous and customary legal systems persisted, often unwritten, passed down through generations, rooted in community, tradition, consensus. Imagine for a moment the bewildering spectacle of these traditions interacting. Ancient tribal elders resolving disputes under a sacred tree where community input is paramount, while in a bustling colonial port city, European magistrates apply written code. And across the globe, a jury of peers weighs evidence in a common law court. Sometimes these systems converged, producing hybrid legal marvels, resulting in unique blends that defied easy categorization. Other times they clashed violently, a testament to the immense power of differing legal worldviews. The imposition of foreign law often created deep divisions and injustice. Sometimes the very understanding of justice became a battleground. The sheer audacity of humanity to construct such vastly different yet equally valid frameworks for societal harmony is frankly astounding. It's a testament to our ingenuity, diversity, and unending quest for justice.
And just when you think you've charted the bewildering tapestry of human law, from stone tablets to global traditions, an entirely new, ethereal frontier unfurls before us, utterly defying every ancient precedent. From the very air we breathe, it seems, a new kind of legal challenge has emerged, the digital realm. How utterly incredible, how profoundly bizarre the dilemmas it presents. Consider cyberspace, a borderless expanse where physical notions of jurisdiction crumble into irrelevance. How do you govern a crime committed by an anonymous entity across a dozen servers? What constitutes property when it's merely a string of data, or a unique NFT representing a digital cat? Then, the advent of artificial intelligence, a truly bewildering leap. Who is accountable when an autonomous vehicle causes harm? Can an AI be granted legal rights or held responsible? These aren't abstract philosophical debates. They are immediate, tangible questions for judges, lawmakers, and citizens alike. The metaverse, a fully immersive virtual world, promises to redefine identity, commerce, and even physical presence, forcing us to ask, what is a person in a digital avatar? What are the laws of a world that exists only in code? The very foundations of our legal systems, built on millennia of physical interaction, are being stretched, twisted, and sometimes broken by this invisible revolution. It is an astonishing, almost absurd dance between ancient principles and emergent realities. This urgent, exhilarating, and frankly utterly mind-boggling quest to forge order in the digital chaos is the latest, perhaps greatest chapter in humanity's unending story of law. And so, as we stand on the precipice of this astonishing digital frontier, contemplating laws for AI and the metaverse, we are compelled to look back and then profoundly look forward. For this urgent, exhilarating, and frankly utterly mind-boggling quest to forge order in the digital chaos is but the latest, perhaps greatest chapter in humanity's unending story of law. From the first whispered agreements around a primeval fire, to the cuneiform carved by ancient hands, from Hammurabi's towering stelae to the vibrant debates of Athenian assemblies, from Rome's empire-spanning decrees to the sacred texts meticulously transcribed in medieval scriptoria, from Magna Carta's defiant limitations on power to the Enlightenment's bold assertions of universal rights, each era, each civilization has wrestled with the same fundamental questions. How do we live together? How do we resolve conflict? How do we ensure fairness? It's a bewildering, magnificent tapestry woven from countless decisions, countless struggles, and countless leaps of faith. This isn't just about rules on parchment or pixels. It's about the very essence of human civilization. The law, in all its perplexing, evolving forms, is our collective,
ongoing and, quite frankly, miraculous attempt to codify decency, to uphold justice, and to craft a shared future. It is a dramatic dialogue that never ceases, a code that is forever being written, amended, and reinterpreted, reflecting the ceaseless ebb and flow of human endeavor. So, as we witness the next legal revolutions unfold, let us marvel at the enduring, incredible journey of law itself, an ever-evolving code, eternally seeking to bind us together, not in chains, but in a shared, astonishing pursuit of order.